Welcome to the CKER News Weekend Wrap-Up, powered by GahnawagaNews.com. I'm your host, Lauren McCumber. Here are the stories that made headlines this week. About 70 community members took part in a peaceful march around the community on Monday evening. The Taking Back Our Community March began at the green space next to K103 and went around the community. The march was organized by a group of community members who have been having grassroots meetings concerning safety and security in the community following a home invasion last week.
Professor Craig Morrison created Rock and Roll and Its Roots in 1997. It's a course that explores how the music genre of rock and roll became what it was in the 1960s. Professor Morrison can only guess why his course isn't available to music students at Concordia.
I've made my feelings known, and I've written letters and I've passed them to full-time faculty members and members of my union, and I can't do any more to tell them, this would be legitimate. The music department does not want to recognize the existence of popular music.
The Canadian Pacific Holiday Train made its first stop of the season in Kahnawake on Friday, November 26th. It travels all around Canada to entertain crowds of eager children and their parents with live Christmas songs. But the main goal of the holiday train is to raise money.
Colton Daibo is 21 years old, but still gets carded when he goes to purchase alcohol.
It does get annoying needing to pull it out every time because I've been of age for a few years now.
How do you feel when you're not carded?
I'm not carded. I feel great. I'm just like, yeah, I look old.
Professor William M. Bukowski is a psychology professor at Concordia University. He weighs in on why men and women of various ages react differently to getting carded.
The idea of being a little bit older than one really is, obviously, is more important to 13-year-olds than it is to 50-year-olds. And it may be that for men, more so than women, the idea of being a little bit older is sort of a positive thing. I suppose you could trace some of these differences to some evolutionary patterns where women presumably might be preferred by people because they're younger and more likely to be fecund. Men perhaps want to be older and more mature because that's some sort of index of power or something of this sort.
Reporting for Concordia University, I'm Lauren McCumber.
I'm Lauren McCumber with your CMTS Information Update. A monument is being erected in Kahnawake to mark the 100th anniversary of the Quebec Bridge disaster. In 1907, the bridge collapsed and killed 76 men. 33 of these men were Mohawks from Kahnawake. The monument is a combination of a miniature steel replica of the bridge and a granite gravestone etched with the names of the fallen men. Not only a commemoration of the tragedy, but also a symbol of the reputation of Quebec Mohawks as world-renowned high steel workers. Grammy buzz is starting to generate. The nominee list has been announced, and so far, Kanye West is at the head of the pack with 8 nominations. It's time to get ready for the 9th annual Canadian Aboriginal Music Awards. This year, it will be held at Toronto's Rogers Centre on Thursday, November 29th and Friday, November 30th. Rising country sensation Shane Yellowbird is up for 5 nominations, including Best Album of the Year. Yellowbird recently took home this award at another award show, so I think it's safe to say that he'll be taking it home a second time. Stay tuned for